Have you ever wondered why some people wake up with power in their hearts while others feel drained the moment they open their eyes? Why is it that a new day, a gift, often feels like a burden instead of a blessing? It's not because life is easier for some and harder for others. It's because most people don't start their day connected to something greater than themselves. They wake up thinking about problems, pressure, and pain. They check their phone before they check their soul. And in that moment, they hand over the power of their day to everything outside of them. But what if you could wake up different? What if you could wake up strong, calm, centered, and focused, no matter what life throws at you? If you stay with this message till the very end, something will shift inside you. You will not only feel more grounded, but you'll walk away with a sense of divine strength that no stress, no fear, no doubt can shake. This is not just another morning. This is a moment to reclaim your peace, to realign your soul, to rise. Every morning is a blank canvas, and you are the artist. But if you begin your day in chaos, your entire picture will reflect confusion. Human psychology has proven it. What we do in the first 15 minutes of waking up shapes our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors for the rest of the day. It sets the rhythm. It programs the mind. And most people waste that golden window by diving straight into noise. They scroll, they react, they compare, they complain. But here's the truth. Your spirit was never designed to start the day in panic mode. You were built to begin with peace. You were made to rise in strength, not in stress. That's why prayer matters. It's not just a religious ritual. It's psychological warfare. It is mental training, emotional restoration. It is the single most powerful way to center your thoughts, calm your nervous system, and activate courage in the morning. When you pray, you're not escaping the day. You're preparing for it. You're not avoiding reality. You're aligning with truth. Because without alignment, you walk into the world already off balance, already drained, already defeated. But when you pause, just for a few moments, and speak from the depths of your soul, you realign your heart with power. You remind your mind who's in control, and that's when peace enters. That's when clarity returns. That's when you remember you are not walking into the day alone. Most people are searching for strength outside of themselves. They wait for motivation to appear. They think it's in their coffee, or in a quote, or in someone else's encouragement. But real strength isn't something you wait for. It's something you activate. And you activate it in the silence of prayer. You activate it when you stop chasing and start surrendering. When you realize you don't have to carry everything. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to know everything. You just have to show up, grounded, present, and open. Psychology tells us that the brain is wired for survival. It will always default to fear, to worry, to protection mode, unless it is trained to think differently. That's why most people start their day with doubt. That's why they replay worst-case scenarios before their feet even touch the ground. The mind, left untrained, becomes a battlefield. But prayer rewires the brain. It doesn't just soothe your emotions, it changes the way you think. When you declare truth over your life in the morning, you are literally forming new pathways in the brain. Pathways that are not built on fear, but on faith. Not on confusion, but on clarity. That's not superstition, that's science. You weren't meant to wake up dreading the day. You were meant to wake up owning it. Not because it's perfect, but because you are prepared. And prayer is preparation. It's where you remind yourself that no matter what comes, you will not be shaken. That no matter who doubts you, you will not fold. That no matter what battle you face, your spirit is ready. Because the truth is, storms will come. Stress will try to steal your peace. People will disappoint you. Life will press you. But if you start strong, you stay strong. If you start with peace, you carry peace. And peace is a weapon in a world full of noise. So before the world demands your attention, give your soul the attention it deserves. Before you open the door to distraction, open your heart to direction. Before you react, realign. This is your moment. This is your reset. This is your reminder that strength isn't in your schedule. It's in your spirit. And if you can connect to that strength first thing in the morning, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can throw you off course. Stay here, lean in, Because the moment you stop surviving your mornings and start owning them, everything in your life begins to shift. The world changes when you do, and your change starts now. When you begin your morning with prayer, you are not escaping the world, you are commanding it. You are taking your mind, your heart, your emotions, and placing them in the hands of something greater. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Because the strongest people in the world are not the ones who force their way through the day, but the ones who align their spirit before they take the first step. Most people live in reaction. They respond to problems as they come. But you were not created to live in reaction. You were designed to lead your life, not follow it. That leadership begins with intentional silence, with stillness, with faith. Your morning is your foundation. If the foundation is cracked, everything built on it is unstable. And many people are walking around wondering why they feel overwhelmed, lost, confused, when the real issue is they never set the foundation right. That's what prayer does. It rebuilds, it strengthens, it resets the nervous system, it clears the mental fog. It's not just about words spoken into the air, it's about energy, focus, intention. You're telling your mind, I am not ruled by the noise of this world. I choose peace, I choose clarity, I choose faith. Human psychology has shown that the brain craves certainty. It looks for something solid to hold on to. And if you don't give it direction, it will attach itself to worry. It will cling to fear. But prayer replaces that. It gives the brain what it needs, a sense of order, a pattern of hope, a voice that calms the storm. That's why it works. That's why it heals. That's why the most powerful way to begin your day isn't by checking your messages, but by checking your mindset. And when you open your morning in faith, you don't just change your mood, you change your future. You create a ripple that carries into your relationships, your choices, your goals. It all starts here. This is where the shift begins, where chaos bows to calm, where fear is silenced, where your real strength begins to rise. The words, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," are not just verses from an old text. They are a declaration of identity, a reminder of who you belong to, a powerful shift in perspective. When you say those words, you're not just repeating scripture. You're choosing a mindset that says, I am guided, I am protected, I am provided for. And in a world that constantly demands more from you, this truth becomes your anchor. It tells your mind to stop striving for what's already yours. Peace, strength, security. These are not things you chase. They're things you awaken through trust. Human beings are wired to feel fear when there is no control. The mind wants a plan. The heart wants security. And when neither is present, anxiety takes over. That's why this one sentence is so powerful. It speaks directly to your nervous system. It tells your brain you're not alone. You don't have to carry it all. You're being led. This calms the chaos. It lowers the tension. It restores the sense of safety that the world often tries to steal. The idea of a shepherd may sound distant in modern times, but it speaks to something ancient in the human soul, the desire to be led by something wise, strong, and loving. And when you claim that truth in the morning, you no longer walk into the day with fear. You walk with assurance. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. You stop rushing and start trusting. You no longer ask, what if everything goes wrong? But instead believe, what if everything is working for me? That's the power of faith. That's the transformation that begins when you let go of control and lean into trust. Because the deepest part of you doesn't want more control. It wants more peace. And peace comes from knowing that you're not wandering through life. You're being guided every step of the way. Inside every human being is a deep need to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The mind constantly scans for threats, even when there are none. It's built to survive. And because of that, many people wake up feeling restless, uncertain, and afraid without even knowing why. That's why the words, "He makes me lie down in green pastures," hold so much power. They speak directly to the part of your brain that craves rest, that longs for peace, that needs to know everything is going to be okay. Green pastures are not just places of comfort, they are symbols of inner safety. They represent a mindset where chaos cannot enter. A soul that is not shaken by noise. It's not about escaping problems. It's about standing in the middle of them with peace that makes no sense to the world. When you start your day from this place, everything changes. You're not rushing. You're not panicking. You're grounded. And grounded people don't break easily. Many people chase comfort in temporary things, scrolling, distractions, numbing habits. But those things only quiet the surface. Prayer reaches deeper. It doesn't just relax you. It restores you. It speaks to the root of your restlessness and reminds you that your peace does not come from circumstances. It comes from within. It comes from trust, from surrender, from the deep knowing that even in the middle of life's tension, you are not alone and you are not forgotten. Stillness is not laziness. It's strength under control. And when the soul lies down in green pastures, it's not giving up. It's rising in quiet power. The world may push you to keep moving, to keep producing, to never stop. But the Spirit reminds you to rest, to breathe, to pause long enough to remember who you are and whose you are. That's where real strength begins. In the stillness, in the quiet, in the green pastures of the soul. He leads me beside still waters. Those words carry a peace that goes beyond human understanding. In a world that moves fast, that shouts and demands and never sleeps, stillness is rare. But your soul was not designed to run nonstop. It was created to be led into calm, into quiet, into moments where everything slows down and you remember what really matters. Still waters are not just about peace around you. They're about peace within you. The human mind is constantly overstimulated. From the moment we wake up, information floods our thoughts. Noise becomes normal. But the more noise we allow in, the more disconnected we become. Disconnected from our values, from our focus, from our purpose. That's why stillness is powerful. It reconnects you. It grounds you. It clears out the distractions so you can hear the voice that truly guides you. The voice that says, you're safe, you're seen, you're not alone. Still waters calm more than just the body. They calm the emotional storms inside. And those storms are real. The anxiety, the doubt, the pressure to perform, to prove, to carry more than your soul can hold. But you don't have to keep carrying all of it. You were never meant to. Being led beside still waters means surrendering the weight. It means releasing the need to control and choosing trust instead. When you let yourself be led into stillness, you're not wasting time, you're gaining strength. Because in the quiet, your mind resets, your spirit breathes, your heart softens, and from that place of calm, you make better decisions. You think clearly, you love deeper, you live stronger. That's why still waters matter. They're not a luxury, they're a necessity, especially in the morning, especially when the day ahead feels heavy. In stillness, you don't just find peace, you remember that peace was always there, waiting for you to stop long enough to receive it. He restores my soul. These words carry a promise deeper than just feeling better. They speak to the heart of healing itself. Every person carries wounds. Some are visible, many are hidden beneath the surface. Stress, disappointment, failure, loss, they wear down the spirit. But restoration is more than repair. It is renewal. It is rebirth. When your soul is restored, you don't just return to who you were. You become stronger than you ever were before. Life will drain you. It will test your limits. It will push you to your edge. But there is a power greater than any hardship, a power that can heal what is broken inside. Restoration is that power working quietly in the background, renewing your hope, your courage, your strength. It is the voice inside you that says, you are more than your mistakes. You are not defined by your failures. You can rise again. Psychology teaches us that recovery is essential. The mind and body cannot operate at full capacity without rest and renewal. The soul is no different. Without restoration, the weight of life's challenges becomes unbearable. But when you open yourself to being restored, you invite peace to flood in. You welcome courage to return. You make space for hope to grow. Restoration is not passive. It requires intention. It requires surrender. It requires faith that no matter how broken you feel, you can be made whole again. That you can face the day with a spirit that is not tired, but alive. When you pray for restoration, you are not just asking for relief. You are claiming your power. You are declaring that your story is not over, that you will continue, that you will thrive. Your soul's restoration is the foundation for the day ahead. It fuels your mind with clarity, your heart with peace, and your body with strength. When you start your morning restored, you don't just survive the day, you conquer it. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. These words carry a powerful message about direction and purpose. Life is full of choices, and every day you face decisions that shape your future. Some paths are easy and tempting, but they don't lead to fulfillment. Others are challenging and uncertain, but they lead to growth and meaning. When you trust that you are being led in the right way, you stop wandering aimlessly. You stop second-guessing yourself. Instead, you walk with confidence, knowing that every step has a purpose. Your mind craves direction. Without it, you feel lost, overwhelmed, and stuck. That's why so many people drift through life, unsure of what to do next. But faith is a compass that guides you through the fog. It gives you a clear path when the way seems dark. It reminds you that even when you don't see the full journey, you can trust the next step. Choosing the path of righteousness doesn't mean life will be easy. It means you are committed to what is right. Even when it's hard, it means you are willing to grow, to learn, and to become better every day. And that commitment builds character, resilience, and strength. It builds a life worth living. Psychology shows that having clear goals and values improves mental health and motivation. When you know where you are going, your brain releases chemicals that help you focus, stay positive, and push through obstacles. That's why trusting the right path is not just spiritual, it's practical. It fuels your mind and your spirit. You are not meant to walk this life blindly. You are meant to walk with purpose, with faith, and with the assurance that you are being led by something greater than yourself. When you embrace that, fear fades and courage rises. You begin to move forward boldly, knowing that the path before you is the path that will make you stronger and bring you peace. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. These words are not just a poetic line. They are a powerful declaration of courage in the face of fear. Everyone walks through valleys, times of darkness, pain, uncertainty. Those moments when the future looks bleak, when your heart feels heavy, when your steps falter. The valley can be loneliness, failure, loss, or deep struggle. But the promise here is clear. Even in those darkest moments, you don't have to live in fear. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that hold people back. It paralyzes, confuses, and drains energy. Yet, this prayer invites you to a different mindset. It tells you that fear doesn't have to control you, that even when the situation seems hopeless, you can stand firm, because there is a presence with you, greater than the shadows, greater than the pain, greater than the unknown. Psychology reveals that fear activates the brain's survival mode, shutting down reasoning and increasing stress. But courage, especially the kind born from faith, calms the nervous system. It allows you to think clearly, make better choices, and face challenges with resilience. This kind of courage is not about being fearless. It's about facing fear and moving forward anyway. Walking through the valley doesn't mean you are walking alone. It means you have strength beyond what you see. You have a protector, a guide, a source of peace that no darkness can take away. That knowledge changes everything. It transforms pain into power, darkness into light, fear into faith. Life will test you. The valleys will come. But when you embrace this truth, you will walk through the hardest times with a spirit unshaken. You will rise stronger on the other side because the shadows don't define you. Your courage does. And that courage begins with the choice to trust, even when it feels impossible. You are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. In the midst of struggle and uncertainty, there is a powerful promise of companionship and protection. Life can feel lonely. It can feel overwhelming. But these words remind you that you are never truly alone. Something greater walks beside you, something steady, strong, and unchanging. The rod and staff symbolize guidance and defense, a presence that leads you and shields you from harm. Loneliness is one of the deepest pains the human mind experiences. It clouds judgment, drains motivation, and breeds despair. But when you feel accompanied, when you sense protection, your mind shifts from fear to peace. This shift is essential for mental resilience. Knowing you have support, visible or invisible, changes the way you face each moment. It turns fear into courage, hesitation into boldness. The rod and staff represent more than just protection. They represent direction and comfort. One guides, the other defends. Together, they create balance. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges and obstacles, but having something steady to hold on to, something that gently leads you while also standing guard, makes the journey bearable. It reminds you that even when you stumble, you are not falling alone. Psychology confirms that the feeling of safety is crucial for mental strength. When you feel safe, your brain can focus, heal, and grow. Without that sense of safety, stress takes over, clouding your judgment and draining your energy. This promise of comfort is a lifeline, a mental and emotional anchor that helps you stand tall even in the storms. No matter what you face today, remember this. You are not walking through it alone. You have strength walking beside you. You have protection surrounding you. You have a guide holding your hand. This truth is your peace, your courage, your power. It is the steady force that will carry you forward when everything around you feels uncertain. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. These words paint a picture of abundance and honor, even when surrounded by opposition. Life often places us in difficult situations where we feel challenged, attacked, or misunderstood. Yet, this promise shows that even in the middle of conflict, there is provision, blessing, and favor waiting for you. The idea of a prepared table speaks to more than just food or comfort. It represents readiness and celebration. It says that no matter what battles you face, there is a place set for you, filled with blessings and provision. This reminds your mind to focus not on the struggle, but on the abundance that is already yours. It shifts your perspective from scarcity to plenty. Anointing the head with oil is a symbol of honor, healing, and empowerment. It's a sign that you are chosen, valued, and strengthened for the journey ahead. When you start your day recognizing this truth, you carry a confidence that nothing can shake. Your mind is no longer stuck in survival mode. It moves into thriving mode. The overflowing cup is a powerful image of abundance that psychology supports as well. Gratitude and focusing on what you have, rather than what you lack, changes brain chemistry. It reduces stress, increases happiness, and fuels motivation. When your cup overflows, you operate from a place of fullness, not emptiness. Life will bring challenges. Enemies may arise in many forms. Fear, doubt, negativity. But when you begin your day remembering that your table is prepared, your head is anointed, and your cup overflows, you step into the world ready to face anything. You walk with power, with peace, and with the unshakable knowledge that you are blessed beyond measure. That mindset is unstoppable. It transforms your day and your life. Sure, here is the next section of the script. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. These words are a promise of unwavering love and care that surrounds you every moment. No matter what has happened or what challenges lie ahead, there is a constant presence of goodness and mercy chasing after you. This isn't just hope, it's assurance. It's a guarantee that you are not forgotten, not abandoned, not left to fend for yourself. Goodness represents all the positive forces working in your favor. Mercy is the compassion that covers your mistakes, your failures, your fears. Together, they create a safety net that catches you when you fall and lifts you when you feel weak. Knowing this shifts your mindset from one of fear and scarcity to one of confidence and abundance. Psychologically, feeling pursued by goodness and mercy builds resilience. It rewires your brain to focus on positive outcomes instead of dwelling on past hurts or future worries. It strengthens your emotional core so you can face life with hope rather than despair. This promise acts like a shield, protecting you from the weight of guilt, shame, and anxiety. To dwell in the house of the Lord forever means to be in a place of peace and belonging. It's a reminder that your true home is not in circumstances or possessions, but in the spiritual refuge that supports you endlessly. When your soul rests in this truth, fear loses its grip and courage rises. Starting your day with this promise means walking into every moment wrapped in love and grace. It means knowing that no matter what happens, you are followed by kindness, protected by mercy, and invited into eternal peace. That knowledge brings calm to your heart, strength to your spirit, and power to your steps. It's the foundation on which you can build an unshakable life. When you begin your day wrapped in the promise of goodness and mercy, your whole perspective shifts. Life's challenges no longer feel like walls closing in, but become stepping stones pushing you forward. There is a deep power in knowing that kindness is actively pursuing you, even when you don't see it. This unseen force strengthens your heart and calms your mind, giving you the courage to face whatever lies ahead with confidence. Too often, people carry the weight of their past mistakes, their regrets, and their fears like heavy chains. These chains slow you down, drain your energy, and cloud your vision. But when you hold on to the truth that goodness and mercy follow you, those chains begin to break. You begin to realize that your past does not define you. You are free to move forward. You are free to grow. You are free to become the person you were always meant to be. This promise also teaches patience and trust. Goodness and mercy don't always appear immediately or in the ways we expect. Sometimes, they come through the kindness of strangers, a quiet moment of peace, or an unexpected blessing, but they are always present, always working on your behalf. When you embrace this truth, you start to see life through a lens of hope instead of fear, abundance instead of lack. Psychology shows that a hopeful mindset improves your resilience, motivation, and overall well-being. It changes the chemicals in your brain, reduces stress, and strengthens your ability to cope. That's why starting your morning with this deep belief sets you up for success, not just in your goals, but in your inner peace. As you walk through your day, knowing that goodness and mercy are following you, you become unstoppable. No challenge is too big, no fear is too strong, because you carry with you a promise that will never fail, a promise of love, protection, and endless grace. That promise is your foundation, your strength, your victory.